So hi everyone, I'm Ken. So today I'm very happy to invite Mr. Dale and Mr. Andrew to be our interview. So first I would like to introduce Mr. Dale is the one that lived in Hong Kong about 15 years and also strong appreciate about Tong Lau. And that house is that he buy the Tong Lau and combine the two Tong Lau to be a one house. And here is Mr. Andrew is the designer of this house to operate the Mr. Dale. So hi, Mr. and
Hi.
Andrew. So first, I would like to ask Mr. Dale. So what made you choose the handmade house for your decoration?
When I first came to this apartment, the handmade tiles were here. It was part of the original design of the apartment building itself, and I like the character. It represents, a connection with the history. It's a tradition of Hong Kong. It's part of the heritage, and I wanted to keep it alive. So that's why I chose it. And if I had the option to use more of those kind of tiles, I would. It's just kind of difficult to find.
Okay, so you mean you want to keep it alive?
I like to keep the tradition of Tong Lau's, the
So you
style.
always fight with government?
I seem to have a reputation for fighting with the government, but I seem to have a connection with the younger generation who appreciate the older buildings, and hopefully there'll be more people like the young generation who understand and respect the traditions of Hong Kong architecture.
So what do you feel about the Hong Kong style handmade house?
Well, I think that they're authentic, for one thing. They really are part of the original design and the style of the buildings, and without them, it's not really a complete package for the Tong Lau. So as I find the Tong Lau the most beautiful and rich in character of the architecture in Hong Kong right now, I want to continue to use those types of tiles as the design of the design.
So I'm Stan, you are doing a designer. So what do you think about Hong Kong style in that design?
I see it disappearing and very fast, and I think that's an awful pity, because I believe that one of the most important things to a culture is its heritage. And I see it not just restricted to individual buildings like the married policemen's quarters we have behind us and to the Hollywood police station, but I see it as whole areas, because we live in whole areas. We don't just walk past our culture. We should actually be able to enjoy it and live in it. I came from Australia, which is a European culture, and we have whole areas of the city which are old and preserved. And it's a lovely feeling to know that this is your city, this is how it is, and also gives you a feeling of very strong heritage.
So you mean the style can let us to know about the how means the Hong Kong, let us know the history, know where we come from.
Yes.
Okay, so that's great. Mr. Da, so what difficulties did you when you buy a handmade house for a decoration?
If it's not already there, as it was originally in the case of this apartment, I have to go to places pretty far away to buy them. And I usually find them in one store in particular that's based in Hong Kong, but they source them from Europe. Now, because they're sourced and made in Europe, they're going to be expensive. The range of colors and design patterns that they offer is quite limited, and the ones that I usually do like are not usually in stock. So I run into the problem of availability, range of styles, and price. They're all kind of expensive, so it would be much easier if I was able to source them locally and made locally, and have a little bit more control over the style and the design that I was looking for. But I'll tell you, the style and designs that I'll be looking for are those that are most truly matching with the authentic styles that were in the original Tong Lau.
So you really love the style.
I do.
Okay, so for that, so you mean that you want to buy the handmade house very expensive because you want to buy it from Europe?
I don't want to buy them from Europe, but I'm forced to buy them from Europe right now because that's the only place I
You
can
have
get.
any place to buy in Hong Kong?
Not that is, I mean, most of what you'll find in Hong Kong seems almost like machine made. They don't seem.
Not handmade.
Yeah, I mean, this is an example of one of the tiles the style that we like and that we go for. And I mean, even as Andrew was pointing out earlier, that the lines themselves are not perfect. It looks as if it's made by hand because it is made by hand. And for the person who appreciates the fine distinction like that, that's an important difference.
So, on the do do you feel that the only foreign countries people like the Tong Lau style handmade tile from the over years?
So far they're the only people I've met, but they're in very high demand as, well, dare say they're very difficult to order because they're in very high demand. And it's becoming, there's like a 5-month wait for these. This tile is a 5-month wait from Hong Kong right now. And I think that the more Tong Laos we can save and do a beautiful renovation of, the more popular they become. As you can see already, Shenwan is full of investors looking to renovate Tong Lau. And I believe that the demand will grow and grow. I'm quite surprised that now I'm getting local Chinese clients that are looking to reproduce the old Chinese feeling, which when I started 3 years ago, it was not the case. So
it's the same thing, I mean, with regards to the people who rent the apartments that, we renovate. Initially it was almost 100% expats that were coming to Hong Kong and wanted to have a real authentic Hong Kong experience. But more and more, the clients, the tenants that we're getting are locals, people that have maybe gone away and now coming back and understand the value of what, unique quality is that we're bringing to them. And on those rare occasions when I sell one or two of these Tong Laos, I'm getting more and more interest from the local community, which is a good sign to me. I'm glad to see the local people having a greater interest in their past and their history. And I hope that'll continue.
That continue?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing is that is it really expensive when you buy the handmade tile in Hong Kong or from you?
I can't really find the handmade tile that I'm looking for made in Hong Kong right now. And when I do buy it in Europe, you've got the cost of European labor and wages. That's quite expensive.
Also included
shipping, exactly, shipping. And then a lot of times there's breakage, so you'll end up having to throw away a good percentage of what you've had shipped over, and then have more shipped over. So it spirals. The costs go up and up and up.
Okay, thank you. And right now, so our team is invited to start a Tong Lau style handmade tile business, especially for the kind like this tile here. So what do you think about project or about idea?
I think it's fantastic because it is something that the marketplace is looking for right now. People like myself, and I'll tell you, when we started this whole design thing and interest in the Tong Lau renovations, there weren't too many people doing it. There are so many people doing it right now. It's almost impossible to find a Tong Lau that is affordable so that you can at least have the groundwork to start doing the design. And everybody's interested in doing this kind of thing. So you'd be meeting the demand of a market that currently isn't being met. Nobody's sourcing or providing them right now. What do you think?
yeah, I agree. I actually had a client who was desperate to have these, but she didn't want to wait for 5 months, so she's taking some stone from Europe instead. So she was prepared to spend the money, but it's just it wasn't there. So I think that two things that producing the stone here could two benefits could be it's cheaper and it's more readily available.
And also you probably control the design. One of the things that you have as an advantage when you're closer to the source of origin is that you have some influence over what patterns you want, maybe what colors. Because we've had some experience when the tiles that we like are sent over to us. The color isn't exactly what we thought it was going to be. It's one thing to see it in a picture in a nice catalog or online, but the actual tiles themselves, they're handmade, so you can't really control it to that big of a degree. But when you're over here, you can watch the process, see it.
Like this?
Either the lines themselves or the color may be slightly different than what you think.
Oh, like the color.
Sometimes that's
Well, for instance, in this one, this is new, and therefore the white is very bright. So you might want to get a slightly darker white so that it looks a little bit older on the day that you put it in.
Oh.
So you don't have to wait for your grandparents to...
So if you've got...
your grandchildren to tell you about it.
so if you're here, you can be watching it as the samples come off of your production process to be able to say, yes, that's...
Because I think, for instance, this is probably white once upon a time, but now it's quite... But now it's quite dark.
This comes from the Tong Lau original?
Right here.
Came from this house.
Right here. It was on that floor right over there.
So So you see here is the original from 50 or more years ago, and here is a new version.
It's the new version.
Yeah, so
From
you can see
Fire Earth.
yeah, so you can see it's a lot whiter.
Same like this. Like
So this would have been this color originally, but 50 years of bare feet. And,
right. So actually here is also the company is mean that we want to organize a social enterprise. So in this company we want to provide handmade house, and also we want to provide job for the new immigrants and poor people. What do you feel about? Do you want to support us, or what do you feel about our and
Of course, we want to support you, and the idea of being able to teach.
start tomorrow.
We're quite enthusiastic.
We need you.
But teaching, some people this trade, it's teaching them not just, a trade, it's teaching them something about their origins and their history, preserving the heritage at the same time. So it's more than just about giving somebody a skill. It's giving them a lesson in their own history and where they came from, which has been, more valuable, I think, in addition to just, the job.
So thank you very much, and I also hope that I can cooperate with you later if we can really set up a company like this. So thank you, Mr. There.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Andrew, for the interview.
Thanks.
It's all.